when it came time for my 1 year review with the owner, he said, I appreciate you finding my money and making this hotel much more efficient. However, none of my other hotels are making money. And so I cannot give you your bonus. Instead, what he offered me was this state of the art tread climber. And so he asked me if I would accept that. And so, of course, I wanted to cry in that moment, but I held back the tears and I said, thank you. I would love to accept the tread climber. I greatly appreciate that. And as soon as I left, I began to make my resignation letter. I had never worked or was challenged so in turning that hotel around and then to not be compensated actually for it, I knew I had to go. But I didn't want to leave the hotel hanging. So in my resignation, I wrote out a plan that included Jill as the general manager and the lessons that I would teach her. I would stay on for that year, the lessons that I would continue to teach her while I was there. And she flourished and she operated it for another, I believe, 2 years. It was very hard. And people cringe when I tell the end of the story, which was I asked him if if he could have the tread climber delivered. And so he and another one of the owners got a truck, brought it to my apartment, and got it to the door. And they opened the door, and they looked, and there was 2 flights of steps. I'm sorry, but I had to laugh to see them huff and puff to get that heavy tread climber up 2 flights of steps into my apartment. And I kept it until my final move from my last position to this one. So I wound up letting it go, giving it to someone before I moved back to Northwest Indiana. It was a sign that it's time for me to stand up for myself,
Right.
which I hadn't really done before.
Yeah. No, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Well, something else that you mentioned earlier was the healer way.